I want to talk about the grief that I think a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are feeling as we acknowledge the fact that our entire childhoods, we were essentially groomed to be passively complicit in pedophilia culture, and how we start to deconstruct that and process that. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Kelsey. I am a spicy educator, a somatic sex and intimacy coach, and I specialize in alchemizing trauma and conditioning into pleasure. So let's start talking about this one. It is absolutely an act of rebellion for you to love your body in the state that it is in right now, unconditionally. We were force-fed a body standard that was implemented by men who prefer children. Your body does not need to look the way that it did when you were a child. And that is something I have personally had to deconstruct in my own body dysmorphia journey. And body dysmorphia can show up regardless of what body type you have. Whether you are feeling really skinny, whether you are feeling like you are too curvy, even if you are very muscular, there is all sorts of conditioning and inappropriate narratives towards every body type. And right now, doing the deconstruction work on that and coming back to a place of self-love is really important. If you've been with me on the journey recently, as I was deconstructing my body dysmorphia, what really started to happen for me was this notion that I wanted to love myself back to health. It didn't matter what the number on the scale was. It didn't matter what size I was in my clothing. That is not what mattered at all. It was a self-love journey back to health, back to feeling good, back to, again, getting into a space of pleasure, joy, happiness, being able to feel good in my body regardless what my size was. And I think that's really relevant for a lot of people right now, is starting that process that I really refer to when I'm talking with my sex coaching clients and my trauma clients, is it's self-love and self-intimacy. And that is really where we start. And so much body dysmorphia is rooted in self-hatred and self-worth issues and resignation on literally not having the body type that we did when we were children. And it's so unrealistic. And it was everywhere when we were kids. Like, I have recently pulled up some older 90s sitcoms, and I just look at the women in those, and it's so unhealthy and unrealistic. And that was the standard that literally has been shoved down our throats. It's body standard, it's toxic purity culture, it's misogyny, all of these things that uphold the patriarchy that we have to start deconstructing. Yeah. I see body dysmorphia present itself all the time when I'm working with sex and relationship coaching with my clients on literally not feeling comfortable to engage in intimacy because they're not feeling safe and comfortable and confident in their bodies, right? Especially without any clothes on, right? So starting to work on the deconstruction and coming back to a place of self-love. And one of the things that I will tell you, as hard as it is start to acknowledge what those negative stories are when you are feeling uncomfortable, when you are triggered, right? Is when you get triggered, it's what's happening in my subconscious? Where am I feeling that in my body? That's how we start to identify those and then be able to deconstruct and build on a space of self-love. Is when you have this is what my head is saying, right? This is the pain that I'm feeling in a specific part of my body, right? And going, ooh, I'm feeling really insecure about my body. And this is the story that is being played out in that. Acknowledge it. And I know it's hard. It is so hard because it's confronting that story and the shame and the dogma and the conditioning head on. And it's a really hard thing to do. But that is step one in the deconstruction process, is bringing attention to it. Because as soon as we bring attention to it, we can start deconstructing it and building something better on top of it. I will be opening my books back up in March for trauma work for any trauma survivors that need support right now. My traditional sex and intimacy coaching, as well as any deconstruction work that you guys want to do with me. So we have a lot coming in March. I have a small procedure that I have to get through, and then I will be back on track to really helping and supporting you guys through a really traumatic time for a lot of us. So take care of yourselves, drink some water, get out in the sunlight, and move your body. Yeah? Love you guys.